Welcome back. Today we're looking to do something with this quite unusual piece of weathered oak. It's got on the surface really quite an unusual grain pattern that kind of swirls and whirls all over the place. I'm not quite sure exactly what kind of oak this is, but we may get a better idea as we're turning. Now this has been obviously dried, stored for a very long time. We do have a few cracks and things to consider as we're going along, but nothing too bad that I think we'll have problems with. The main problem we've got is figuring out where is the best to take a piece from. Now initially I'm thinking with all this beautiful pattern on the side, we want this to be the base. The top is just normal heartwood. It could be nice, but the majority of the nice wood is around here. So if we try and uncover this, and hopefully it'll spread up the side of the bowl and we'll be able to see it at the bottom of the bowl when we're hollowing it out. Right, so I'm gonna get out my compass, have a spin around on here and see what kind of circle I can get out from this area, and then we'll get it onto the bandsaw and cut it free. Okay, there's our blank, all nicely extracted from the original piece. Now, when I first cut this out, I was thinking maybe I should have this as the top. But then I noticed here we've got, where you can see that spalting, this bit around here is very soft. So we're best trying to avoid that. So having this as the base, working up the sides, I think is still definitely the best way. So I'm going to quickly drill a hole in here for a worm screw and I'll get it on the lathe. I'm just going to use the original template to help me find the center again. Okay, we're on the lathe. It's so balanced. We can start turning at about 650 RPM, which isn't too bad for a strange looking piece like this. As soon as we get this corner off here, we will be able to pick up that pace a little bit more. So face shield on, mask on, bull gouge is all nicely sharpened up, so we can start. Okay, that's a good start. Been mainly working on the bottom to try and get rid of this bit here, which was the softer area. Now that looks a lot firmer than before, so that's pretty good. The trouble is we've got this new bit here, and you can see a reasonable amount of worm damage in this area, so I may need to go in a little bit further, but that's looking good. There's some amazing patterns appearing in this grain. If you remember that kind of all the swirls that were on the surface, they are underneath as well, which is so nice to see. We do have a few cracks here, which they are going to go in an awful long way. So we'll just deal with those when the time comes, or completely ignore them. It's going to be a very rustic piece, this, so yeah, it'll be fine. Right, continue. Do a bit more work on this bottom. Okay, we've nearly cleared this rot here. Yes, we can treat it and firm it up, but it really is quite soft, quite nasty, so I'd like to try and get rid of it if I can. I'm still not quite sure about the design for this. Whether or not we go for a curve or even an inverse curve might be nice, with a nice rounded bowl. Anyway, right, let's carry on. Okay, that's nearly got rid of that. I'm going to quickly go and sharpen up again, because if you've ever turned oak, especially dry oak, you'll know that it really is hard as nails. So I'll go and sharpen up, and then we'll come back and decide on the best next step. Okay, we're all sharpened up. I've been looking at this for a couple of minutes. The curve we've got here is nice, I like it. And I was just wondering if we could continue it from there all the way up to this top rim. We'll probably take in these sides about an inch and a half, but I think that would give us a nice, tall, elegant shape. Nothing too fussy. It's made out of oak. It's not an exquisite hardwood or anything like that. It's just a beautiful, rustic, weathered piece of wood. So a nice, simple shape I think will really help show this off. I'll take it up slowly, because I don't know how deep these patterns go, and the last thing I want to happen is for them to disappear. So I'll take it up slowly and see, keep on checking to make sure they're still there, they're not starting to disappear. Okay, now I know this shape's a bit goofy at the moment, but don't worry, I'm just working a few things through in my head. We've managed to keep all of the grain on here, which is fantastic. Now, I've just started to close over that top there to see how that would look, and I kind of like it. So this bit here we've left on, I'm going to take it out and create a curve from there to there. So an internal curve there, leading into an external curve and closing in at the top. I think that is going to be a nice, simple shape for that. We've still got a couple of flat spots, the one there and the little one there. So, and of course we've still got these cracks as well, but I'm not sure yet exactly what to do about those. I may fill them, I may leave them. See, immediately that looks so much nicer, so much more balanced. Right, we've still got a bit of a mess going on here, so I think I'll just take this up a little bit higher and start leaving us room to create a recess in. And then I think I'll tidy up the top first before we turn it around, and then we can sand. I can't wait to see this with a bit of finish on. Well, I've still got to get rid of the flat spots as well. Okay, that's the shape all sorted on the top rim. The flat spots have now gone, so next steps are to put the recess in and sand, obviously, but we're going to decide what we're going to do about these cracks, which are quite deep. They're certainly going to be there on the inside when we hollow this thing out. So I think we should develop a plan of attack now. Right, I think what I'm going to do, I'll put the recess in, I'll just sand the base and sort that, but then we'll turn it around and then we'll sand and finish the whole thing inside and out at the end when we see what cracks we've got to deal with. Nothing is particularly structural, these aren't going to make it fly apart, so we can sort that. So anyway, I'll quickly put the recess in and then we'll sort out that and turn it around. Okay, I'm going to quickly sand the base and put a bit of finish on it. I'll not bother you with this bit because there's going to be plenty more sanding a little bit later on. Okay, the base is sorted. We've turned around. We can start hollowing this out at about 950 RPM. Tailstock at the start to keep us safe, but that is going to be going relatively soon because it will interfere with the hollowing process. Okay, hollowing is going well, but it's really hard work turning against this hard oak in these conditions. So I'm going to go and sharpen up again and we'll continue. Tailstock will be coming away soon, and then I think after that I may have to turn the headstock out so I can cut this undercut a little bit easier. Okay, progress is going well. I'm going to go and sharpen up again, and then I'll turn the headstock out, reposition the cameras, and we'll continue. That's what you get for trying to be clever. Okay, I was just trying to use the scraper to try and remove a bit more material from the bottom, because it's been a bit of a pain with the ball gouge. And I got a nice big catch, and it's taken away a bit of the tenon. We may be able to get it back on. Oh no, we can't. All right, we've got a big crack across the bottom there. Right, we've got a big crack across the bottom. As my wife just said, that's what she said. So I need to try and get this remounted so we can carry on. Now the existing tenon isn't going to do us any good. So I think if you remember what we did last week, which was to drill in deeper with a 2¼ inch bit to reform the tenon, I think that's what we're going to have to do today. Okay, all right. Okay, I've changed my mind. What I'm going to do is fit coal jaws onto my other chuck so we can hold it like that orientation and then refinish the base. Okay, we've got the cold jaws in place, so we can remove this old recess and put another one in. I'm not a huge fan of cold jaws. I've had things come out of them before, so I'm going to take this very easy. The maximum speed you really want to be using these things at is about 600, so we'll get it to that. There we go. Right, I'm going to sharpen up again and we'll continue. Okay, now we have developed a bit of a wobble now, but we'll sort that out when we've got it turned back around the other way. I'll just quickly sand this while I'm here, and I'll bring you back in a second. Okay, we're back to where we were again. My scraper has gone to the naughty step for a while, so I'll carry on with the ball gouge. I'm just going to sharpen it up again, and then we'll continue. We do have a slight wobble now, but we will deal with that. That horrible chattering, apart from it being slightly off balance, is also because the tool is too far away from the wood. You need to get your tools as close to the cutting surface as possible, so I'm just going to change to a slightly different tool rest. Is that really as far as I can get in? There we go. Right, hopefully this will give me a chance to get closer to the piece to get better cuts. Okay, that is looking excellent. Right, I'm going to go and get my Dremel tool, and using a very fine bit, I'm just going to clean out all of these cracks we've got inside and out, and then I'll mix up a bit of milliput and we'll get them filled. Okay, now the milliput's all mixed up. If you've not come across this before, it's a two-part epoxy putty. You mix the two components together and you end up with a nice bit of plasticine, for want of a better expression. This can be, when it dries, it can be sanded, it can be painted, and it really is fantastic for filling cracks. It sticks like you wouldn't believe. Now we're going to push it into all the little holes we can. I've got a little kind of a tamper tool to help me push it into the cracks, so they're all nice and full. And then it's going to take probably about 6 or 7 hours to dry fully, but as it's getting on in the evening, I shall leave this till morning. I think that will do it. Okay, I'm going to go and have my tea, and I shall see you lot in the morning. Okay, it's the next day. The milliput has dried beautifully hard, so we'll go over with a negative rake scraper and just take off the high bits, and the rest of it we can sand. I think that will do it. Right, I'm going to set up for sanding. I'll let you watch a bit of it, and I shall bring you back when we're all done. Okay, sanding went well. Just going to use a bit of isopropyl alcohol just to help clean out any dust left in the pores of this wood. Get a first look at some of this grain pattern, which really is quite remarkable. Just let that evaporate. Okay, that's all dry, so we're going to go on with an abrasive paste. We want to fine up the surface a little bit before the final finish goes on, but also the oils in the abrasive paste will help condition and look after the wood, help protect it for many years to come. I'm using my face shield and I'm spinning this round because I don't want any of these little grits or particles from the abrasive paste getting in my eyes. And again, on with the isopropyl alcohol, remove the last of the grit. Once again, we'll let that evaporate. Okay, that's long enough to dry, so we're going to finish off with a nice generous coating of Howard's feed and wax. I really like this stuff. Always gives such a lovely finish to it. Not a high polish, but a nice luster, which will really suit the oak. We don't buff this in straight away, we let it sit for about 20 minutes, and then coming back and rub it off and polish it with a nice clean cloth. Okay, it may take more than one coat, but we will soon find out. Okay, right, I'll let this sit for 20 minutes, then I shall come back and we'll polish it off. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. We'll give this a rub down and then decide whether or not we need to put on a second coat. Okay, I'm going to see if this needs another coat, and I shall bring you lot back when we're all done and we can take a look at the finished piece. There we go. A beautifully figured, rustic oak bowl filled with milliput in all the cracks. Everywhere you look on this piece, you have these amazing swirls in the grain, which really is quite incredible. And there's a wonderful face in there as well. If you can make it out, 2 eyes, the head and the chin. I love it when you can see faces inside pieces. This thing has an absolute army of them. With regards to the oak itself, I think it's red oak, going by the colouring of the heartwood. Now, I'm not 100% certain on that, so if you've got a different opinion, please leave your thoughts on what kind of oak this is in the description below. With regards to the initial piece, I think we've got the best out of it we could. I took a closer look at the offcuts, and there's an awful lot of splits and rot in them, so I think in terms of workable material, I think we've got the best out of it we could. So I'm always happy when that happens. If you've enjoyed this one, I would really appreciate a like and subscribe and all the usual things. And if you could share it as well, then that would be absolutely amazing. Don't forget, if you do leave a comment, you are going to be entered into the next giveaway. I'm not quite sure exactly when that's going to be, but if you leave a comment, then you are going to be entered. Anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I shall see you all next time. Thank you.